Hello. Oh, I'm so excited. We are here in week 3. And I just want to say a massive welcome and congratulations. Once we get through today, we're officially halfway through Success in 6. So I think this is one of the hardest coaching programs to get to, is when you get to the halfway point. And judging by the feedback in the Facebook group, a lot of you are starting to see results right now, which is absolutely fantastic, and holding each other accountable. So thank you so much for that. Today we have 2 videos, and the reason we only have 2 videos instead of our usual 3 is because I've condensed them into 2 because there's absolutely so much to go through. It didn't seem right breaking up the topic, especially today's topic, or the topic we're going to look at just now, which is how to create packages that your customers will love. Now, this is something I absolutely adore, and I'm a bit of a geek, so I will walk around shops, I will take photographs of packages, I take screenshots of Facebook adverts, I do absolutely everything for inspiration, and I would strongly recommend that you do the same, because let's not forget, no one person knows absolutely everything about creating packages. The purpose of you completing this training is that you can gain an understanding of how packages work, how you can package your expertise or package your products, and how to do that in an authentic way. And as we know from earlier training, the best way to do that is through practical understanding of how packages work. So what is the purpose of today's training? The purpose of today's training is to provide you with an understanding of how to package your products or services, and then to inspire you to create your own signature package or packages. Now, there's a lot of mixed talk out there in the industry. Most people have a signature package when it comes to your services, and various different packages when it comes to your products. But when it comes to your services, I would always recommend that at this early stage, you definitely have a signature package, and maybe you have a suite of packages that you offer people as well. The benefit of having a signature package is that it just makes it easier for you to scale, and you know exactly what you're going to offer. And at the end of those decision-making conversations or those sales calls, you know what to say next. But equally, by having a suite of packages, so more than one option, you just appeal to the consumer and what they want. So I've broken down the training today, and what we will cover is, first of all, packaging your services and ways to deliver your services, then packaging your products and where to get inspiration. And I've done quite a detailed slide on pricing what you offer. Now, I have to be brutally honest when it comes to pricing, and that is, I don't want you to price like a dick. Sorry for being so blunt, but what I tend to find is that women underestimate their pricing and they go really low. And it really annoys me, A, that you're going really low, but that doesn't frustrate me half as much as when somebody questions your pricing or asks you a wee bit more of a question or just says, explain the pricing. The first thing that you do is reduce the freaking thing or worry about your pricing. If by the end of this training, you're not 100% confident in what you offer and the changes that you make for people and the fact that you deserve the price that you're charging, I really want you to go back over training 1 and 2 and look at your transformations and look at who wants those transformations, because there's probably a missing link there. But essentially, when it comes to the prices that you charge, nobody wants to pay the cheapest. And I'll give you a really good example of this, and I'll share it in the. But basically, we were walking down the street yesterday, and there was people selling. It was a coffee packages, and it was basically, come in here for breakfast, and we will give you like a sandwich, a coffee and a cup of tea, and the price was like £3.20. Now, for most people that's probably not that bad, because I know that Greggs do offers, etc., but it was handwritten on an A board outside the shop and it looked scruffy, and when I looked on the windows of the shop it said cheapest offer in town, and nobody wants that. So when you price what you offer, you have to remember that you have to see the value in what you offer first. And if you don't see the value, and if you're not 100% confident in the value of what you offer, nobody else will be. And equally, along with that, you don't want to be defensive of your prices, because there's nothing worse than somebody question your prices and people go, well, I told them what I charge. I mean, what do they mean it's too expensive? What they mean is you've not conveyed the value enough, and that's not a problem. It just means that you're focusing too much on what they're paying and you're not focusing enough on what they're getting out of it. So we'll cover all of that today, but pricing, I have to be strict. Your default response when someone questions your prices needs to be to convey the value. Maybe apologize for not conveying the value sooner, but under no circumstances is it to automatically reduce your prices. That is not happening going forward. A, they won't have respect for what you offer, because they think, oh my God, she dropped her prices straight away. And B, you deserve better. You're absolutely amazing at what you do. You're absolutely fantastic. You wouldn't be as committed to this course if you weren't. You deserve to get well paid for what you do. Okay, lecture over and let's get cracking. So in terms of my packages, I've got 2 key packages that I work on, and I did them one by one. And the reason that I did them one by one is because I wanted to make sure. So my first coaching package is my Business Boost coaching program, and that is a one-to-one coaching program that I run with entrepreneurs for a minimum of 3 months, and they come on and we follow a set process to take you from not quite knowing what to do to having a replicable system that you can implement every 3 months. So we plan out content plans, we plan out offers, we plan out packages. So after 3 months I will take you through everything, and then you'll leave knowing how to do it yourself. And once I started to generate the results from there, and I was really confident that I was generating results for my clients, it's when I set up this group coaching program, Success in 6. So you can see it's possible to start with one package and to add to it, because I would have tailored that package. Some people wanted 3 months, some people wanted longer. It depends on what people are after, but it's very, very much results focused as opposed to focus on the processes. So getting started, packaging services. So I've broken it down into 2. I know some of you fabulous women in the group package up products more than package up services, and some of you do a bit of a mixture, but I'd recommend that you listen to everything, because again, it's about gaining understanding and you don't know where your inspiration is going to come from. So we really want to make sure that that happens. So when you're looking at packaging your services, I want to ask, what is a signature package? You hear a lot about it, quite a lot. Oh, my signature package is, this is what I sell. And basically, it's just a step-by-step process that you follow to generate massive results for your clients. And that's all that it is. So it's pretty much like mining your brain for your expertise. And I know I use that phrase every week. It's about getting inside your brain, sucking out all of the things that make you amazing and just structuring them in a really, really nice way. And what this basically means is when you're chatting to someone, let's say everyone's different, but you know which part of your coaching program or which part of your signature package is going to help them more. And it helps you to grow and scale and to move on to group and online services. We'll discuss it in the next training where we look at sales funnels. But when people start off as an expert or a coach, etc., and I'll touch on that a lot in the packaging services, but I will switch when we package products. But when people start off as a coach, etc., most of the time they do one-to-one group coaching online, and then they start with the one-to-one, but over time you probably focus most of your energy over group or online training, and then your one-to-one becomes your high ticket price in the future. So it's kind of like an hourglass shape, but essentially what we want to make sure that you do is that you're not selling by the hour. And packages are the best way to make sure that you do not sell by the hour. And everyone needs packages, because people like to buy packages, because packages are better value for you because you stop selling by the hour, and they're considerably better value for the consumer, because by you putting together absolutely everything that you know in a really, really enticing way, they feel fantastic about it because they know that you've done your research and you can generate the results for them. So essentially there's 7 steps to packaging your services, and we're going to go through them all right now. And pricing is key, especially for those who do products as well. But I just wanted to take you through some of the group coaching programs that I've done and basically what attracted me to them and how they really worked. And actually to give you an example of what's out there in the industry right now so you can do some research. I think I've mentioned a few times, and I know I'm not the only person in the group that's done Marie Forleo's B School. And it's very much about make money, change the world. And she's basically packaged up all of her sales and marketing expertise into an online business school aimed mainly at women. And that package is released round about every February, March of every year. and she promotes it through various email marketing, Facebook adverts, and affiliates, which are basically partnerships that she has with other people. But it's an absolutely amazing package, and it's really, really well put together, and it's broken down into different sections. Another package service that's really nice, and you can research all of these and download the sales pages because it's really, really good example, is Denise Duffield Thomas and her Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp. So that again is unlimited access to an online training program. Everyone gives unlimited access. I should make you aware of that. So making sure that regardless of how you do it, you can make sure that it is unlimited if you're going to do a group coaching package. And basically, Lucky Bitch is about how to manage your money, how to change your money presence to make sure that you're ready to receive. And there's some absolutely fantastic content in there. And what's beautiful is they all bring their personality to it. The next package of service that I love is the Entrepreneur Fast Pass. And we spoke about this last week, and we also have the book share there, which I know a lot of you have purchased. But what I really like about the Entrepreneur Fast Pass is the way that Darren Hardy, who authored this and who created it, the way that he reuses content. So he basically created the Entrepreneur Fast Pass, and he has used that content in an amazing online group coaching program, which I completed. He has also used it in a book, which a lot of you have purchased, with very, very similar content. Just how it's delivered and how much detail he goes into varies, because obviously the more you pay, the more detail he goes into. And he's also used it to do a VIP program. So he's used the same information from the Entrepreneur Fast Pass to do a VIP program. There was an amazing offer when we were signing up for the online coaching program. Did we want to pay an extra like $5,000 and do a one-to-one, and then, do a VIP, and then he had one-to-one. So he's actually taken the same content and created 4 different packages from it, just added in how he engages with you, how the information's delivered, and what you're going to get out of it as well. So it's another example of how you can package your services. And another one is Mel Wells. I don't know if you've heard of Mel Wells, but I would strongly recommend her book, The Goddess Revolution, to anyone who's looking to take better care of their body. Absolutely fantastic. She struggled with anorexia and bulimia for years, one or the other, I can't really remember. And basically what she did was she took everything that she learned and she created a natural package in terms of how you're going to take care of your body, how you're going to take care of your health. And her packages is built around removing the rules of eating food. So they're just some examples of what's out there at the minute. But I would recommend that when you're on Facebook, when you're on Instagram, when you're in groups, no matter where you are, you're always going to see targeted Facebook adverts coming up to try and get you into someone's sales funnel, which we'll cover in the next training. But what I'd always recommend is that you open as many sales pages as you possibly can, because essentially the sales pages are the information sheets where they try and sell you these services, and you can learn from the best in the industry and how they do it, and you can tweak that so that the packages you create work for you rather. Although we are going to move on to the 7 steps to packaging your expertise, so you can create your own package today, basically, as soon as you finish reading this. So the first thing that we want to make sure is that we know your niche, that you know your target market inside out. We've spent the past 2 weeks doing this, so I have no doubt that you totally know them. And as Joe asked in the group, this will be ongoing. You're going to consistently learn as much as you can about them. The second step to packaging your expertise is that you showcase the benefits or the results and transformations of what you offer. Again, we know these off by heart by now because you've been through those over the past 2 weeks as well. Number 3, we're going to design your signature system, and I'm going to give you a really simple way of doing this. Again, you'll probably grow over time and you'll probably change over time, but for now, this is just a really, really easy way of designing your signature system. And once you see what we've done here, you'll realize it's actually considerably simpler than you thought. 4, pricing. Again, the only rule is don't price like a dick. You're worth way much more. And I'll show you a foolproof method for pricing what you offer so that we can grow confidence. We want to minimize any perceived risk, because when you're selling a service, people are basically buying from you based on a promise. They're buying from you based on a promise of what you can deliver. So we want to minimize as much risk as we possibly can to show that you're going to deliver. And there's various different ways as to how we can show that you are fantastic and you're going to deliver. Number 6 is we're going to look at naming your offer and give a few examples. And also, I want you to get as much inspiration from other people and other industries. Let's not only take inspiration from our own industries, spread our net as far as we possibly can when it comes to inspiration. And the 7th step is managing objections. Now, we will have a one-to-one sales training as part of our last module in this training course. But for now, what we want to do is manage any objections for your packages as early as we possibly can. And we'll show you how to do that. So, kicking off with number 1, knowing your niche. And again, you might find that you want to create a package right now to sell. I know Beata needs to create a package really, really quickly. So the question is, what are your niche market looking for help with right now? Right now, this second. You've done your research, you've become a detective on Facebook. If you've not, go back and do it again. You've been to meetups, you've been to networking events, you're out there, you're doing the work. Again, if you haven't, get out there and do it and tell me, what are they looking for help with right now? So maybe it's that they want to lose weight. Maybe there's holidays coming up and they really need to lose weight. Maybe they need to drop 10 pounds to get into a bridesmaid's dress. Maybe they find that with the kids been off school, they've just been on holidays, they've been absolutely everywhere and they've been eating way too much. So they want to tone up. Maybe it's a case that they want to earn more money. Maybe they just realise, actually, the kids are going back to work in September. Or in 2 weeks' time. I've been working most of the time that they've been off. I don't want that to happen next year. Next year, I want to be at home. I want to take the summer off, or I want a new job. So maybe you need to help them earn more money. Maybe they want a nicer home. Maybe they want a more decluttered home, that free space. Maybe they just want to feel better about themselves, feel sexier, feel more attractive, feel more energetic. But what you have to know is get clear on the main problem or concern that you're going to provide a solution for. And at this stage, that should be really, really easy for you to do, because you know the transformations that you offer, you know your approach, and you know who your ideal client is. So just pinpoint and drill down on what you can help them with right now. And then the next step, and we want you to write all of this out, is we want to showcase the benefits or the transformations. Now, you're not going to struggle with this. You're really not going to struggle with this because we've done it already. We've been doing it for weeks. So look at what you offer and list all of the benefits or transformations that they will experience as a result of using you in the following areas. Now, I've broken these down into different areas because people think in different ways, and I just wanted to spark your imagination. So I've taken an example of a health coach, and we can take various different examples in the group over the next week if you've got any questions. But first and foremost, financial. So what are the benefits? What are the financial benefits or the financial transformations that you as a client will experience as a result of using a health coach? Well, you'll have more money, won't you? Because you're not spending so much money on takeaways, you're not spending so much money on doctor's bills, you're not losing out on work because you're feeling really unhealthy. So you're able to spend money on the things that you genuinely love and not fast food, etc. So maybe it's that you actually have the money to go on that holiday. Maybe it's you have the money to go and buy that new outfit. Maybe it's that have that money to treat yourself by going to a really nice restaurant as opposed to really cheap fast food. And why will you have this money? You will have this money because you use my health coaching services, and my health coaching services mean you benefit because you'll spend less on doctor's bills and you'll earn more money because there'll be less time off work. What are the emotional benefits or transformations of using a health coach? Well, first of all, you're going to feel well rested because you're not having so much sugar, so you sleep well at night. You're the best version of yourself because you just feel amazing. You've got loads of energy. You're putting the right food into your body. You're putting the right fuel, and it's not fast food. So you just feel absolutely incredible. Maybe you feel happier and calmer. I know when I'm on a health kick, I always feel considerably calmer. And why is this? Because if you didn't use my services as a health coach, you'd probably be exhausted. You'd probably be stressed, and you'd probably be at the whim of your emotions. And the reason you'd be at the whim of your emotions is because there'd be so much sugar going around your system. So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm listing the benefits, and I'm listing what will happen if you don't use my services. The physical benefits and transformations. First of all, physically, you'll sleep better. You know, if there's not as much sugar running around your body, if there's not as much meat, if there's not as much dairy, you'll have considerably more energy and you'll have a much better sense of wellness because you're not absorbing all of that icky stuff into your body. If you don't use what I have, You'll have sleepless nights. There'll be more weight gain. There'll be grogginess. You're going to look unhealthy. Do you ever notice sometimes you look in the mirror when you've had a week of not eating very well and you look horrendous and you've got bad skin? So we're listing all of the benefits and transformations of what you offer, but actually we're listing what's going to happen if you don't use us as well. So then we want to move on into spiritual. So if you use a health coach, you've probably got more time and energy to pursue activities that make you feel alive. You'll probably get to know the real you, because there's something quite beautiful about eating all of the right foods and how fantastic you feel. And there's something very beautiful spiritually about taking care of yourself. If you don't use my services as a health coach, chances are you'll burn out. So when you look at relationships, when you're feeling amazing, when you've got loads of energy, when you're not slumped in front of the TV as soon as you get home because you've just had a massive takeaway meal, you've got energy to spend connecting with family and friends. You go out there and you meet new people. You're not as nervous walking into that meetup or walking into that networking event, and you've got considerably better connections with your other half because you feel more attractive, you feel fantastic. If you didn't use my services as a health coach, chances are you'd have arguments, you'd feel further isolated, and you'd probably avoid social occasions or dread special occasions because you didn't feel like you looked nice, or you didn't feel as healthy, or you didn't have as clear skin as you'd wanted. And then you want to ask the benefits for the future potential. So when you consider the future potential, if you just lost weight and you feel absolutely fantastic and you can wear these amazing clothes and you feel amazing, you've got loads of energy, you're jumping out of bed in the morning, chances are you're optimistic about what the future has and you're ready, willing and able to pursue your dreams. You're not, once you take care of your health, everything else is absolutely perfect. So you don't waste all of your effort doing the basics. You're not wasting effort walking to work. You're not wasting effort doing the shopping. You're not wasting effort cleaning, because you've got so much energy and you don't feel like the world is against you because none of your clothes fit, despite the fact that you're always tired and you always seem to be doing stuff. So do you see what I've done there? Do you see how I've taken some really simple examples and I've broken it down into different areas? So we've looked at what are the benefits of our transformations of your packages or your services in all those different areas. And also what we've looked at is what would happen if they continued to not use your services, basically. So we're drilling into the pain, because you know how much I think about pain and you know how much I think the pain really sells. So while absolutely everyone loves the future potential, they love the fact that they're going to feel amazing, but you can only really sell to them when you drill into the pain and how crap they feel right now. Because I'll say it 101 times, only when you know how crap I feel that my jeans don't fit will you be able to inspire me and to take action so I can get back into them. That's the only way. You have to really understand your client. But then we want to see what are the costs of all these things. So what are the costs of not using you? So when it comes to pricing, and we'll touch a lot of pricing during this, we really want to make sure that you're uber confident about the prices that you charge. So much as there is a cost or an investment to your customer in buying your package, there is also a very big cost in not buying your package. So if we were to use the health coach example, the financial cost of not using you spend more on hospital bills, maybe you spend more on painkillers, maybe you spend more on like heat patches for your back, and maybe there's a loss of income because sometimes you're too exhausted to go to work. Sometimes you just want a duvet day. So there's a massive financial cost to your customers over the next year of not using you. There's a massive emotional cost to your clients of not buying your package. If you're a health coach and you're a really good one, it would be stressed, exhausted, hopeless. And not only that, but you'll miss out on all the fun of enjoyment of feeling amazing, of feeling your true self, of feeling fantastic. There's a physical cost to your clients of not using a health coach. Illness, broken sleep. Some people suffer from panic attacks, disease, lack of sex drive, bad skin. So all of these things are a genuine cost that they will have to pay. There is no doubt about it. They will have to pay these costs if they don't buy your package. Spiritual, that sense of disconnection, and the sense that they don't really value themselves. And that's a massive cost, to know that you only get one chance in life and you're not putting yourself first. The cost of their relationships of not using or not buying your package as a health coach, the sense of isolation, they're not engaged with those that they love. and they just feel absolutely out of it. On the future potential, if you're feeling groggy, if you're taking days off work, if you're feeling tired, if you've got bad skin, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, the cost is that you're unlikely to fulfill your future potential or achieve your personal goals. And that is true for so many people. I'm not saying it's true for everyone, but what you really, really need to get clear on is what is the cost that they're going to pay of not using you. So if they don't declutter their home, if they don't get their yoga, if they don't get their success coaching, if they don't get their Reiki, if they don't get their reflexology, what is the cost that they will pay for that? Because they will pay in all of those areas. And we need to know so that we can use that in the promotion, so we can use this in our copy, so we can use this in our marketing, which we'll touch on in today's training. Step 3 is we want to design your signature system or package. Now, I've just taken a really, really basic example as to how we're going to design this. And it was basically, I had to go to Stirling today to pick up Blair. And on the way back, we went into Tesco at Hermiston Gate. And we're getting our weekly shopping. And then we're walking by and Tesco Finest do a meal deal. And Tesco Finest do a fantastic meal deal whereby you get one main course and you get a side, a soup or a dessert. Well, actually, we got one main course, we got a side, we got a dessert, and we got a drink for a tenner. And the drinks were a 4-pack of bottles of Coke, or 2 massive like organic apple juices, or the Tesco quality lemonades. It was all of their finest range. So it was really, really good food and drink. So Blair got himself steak, and we got a vegetable side dish, and we got the dessert. And actually, neither of us wanted the dessert, so we gave the dessert to our neighbour downstairs, who's delighted. But the value of buying all of these items individually was, I think, about £18. But because they packaged them together as a tenner, what it meant was that it was really, really irresistible for us. We really, really wanted to buy it. Even though we gave away the dessert, we really, really wanted to buy it. And that's what we're going to have for dinner after I recorded all the training. So I'm very lucky dinner is going to be made for me. Not the steak, definitely not the steak. But what I want you to do when you're creating packages is just create a starter, a main course, and a dessert. It's really, really, really that simple, and I'm going to give you loads of examples to choose from so you won't be stuck for inspiration. But break down what you offer into these areas. And the benefit of doing it this way is that A, it gets your kind of creative juices flowing, but B, it's actually really, really easy to pick out some ideas. And I'm going to give you over 21 ways that we can do this. So if we were to look at a health coach example, so maybe some of your starter options would be some weekly coaching sessions, and they could be like 15-minute coaching sessions, you know? It could be that we give someone a sleep diary, so a PDF sleep diary. And again, once you've created your sleep diary, you can use it all the time. And maybe your sleep diary is to track how they slept before and how they slept afterwards. Maybe we want to give them a weekly planning and cheat sheet or checklist. So with the weekly menu planning, we could have some suggestions, and then we could have a sheet that they fill out themselves. Or maybe we could have a shopping list on there to tell them what to buy. Maybe we want to have an audio series, and an audio series could just be that we record stuff that we use time and time again that we send out to our clients. Or maybe we want to write an ebook. Now the ebook can just be a culmination of your blogs on how I cured overeating. But we could take as many different examples as possible and use them as potential starters for our package. So what I want you to start doing is I want you to start noticing, what are other people doing out there when they're creating packages? What goes into their starters? You know, what little things do they add on? Now they might seem like little, but they're absolutely huge when they're all packaged together, number one. And number two, you can use them time and time and time again. We'll touch on this next week's training when we do implementation, but if you use Canva, you can use Canva to make things look really nice and really pretty. You can design your own, we can save costs there. But start seeing what other people are doing and jot everything down. You want to have as many ideas as possible so you can pick what works best for you. So then what would we look at as in the main course? Now, as I say, Blair got steak, but he got 2 pieces of steak, so he'll absolutely love it. But maybe the main course for health coach is a get to know you questionnaire. Now we can use Google Forms for questionnaires. Maybe it's a lay the foundations intensive. So maybe it's an intensive coaching program whereby we're going to lay down the foundations of healthy eating. We're going to reprogram you in terms of how to eat really, really healthy. And we're going to remove all of the crap out of your diet and get you back on track. And again, we use some of your starter products to do that. And we'll have 4 bi-weekly revive sessions. So maybe it's a longer coaching to what we had in our starter. Maybe it's 4 by 90 minutes. Maybe it's 4 by 1 hour coaching sessions. And in those coaching sessions, we will get to the bottom of how you feel about food, your relationship with food. We'll reprogram your mind and we'll get you back having a healthy relationship with food, and more importantly, a healthy relationship with yourself. And then what could we have as a dessert? So maybe as a dessert, what we want to have is an offer. They'll get £100 off for any clients you recommend over the next 30 days. Or maybe they'll get £100 off for themselves. Or maybe they get a free session with a personal trainer that you know really well, that you've got a fantastic relationship with. So these are just some examples as to how you can, as a health coach, if you're a health coach, break down an offer. Again, to get our juices flowing, we've taken a website designer example as well. So for the starter, as a website designer, it could be access to our social media graphics suite. So maybe as a website designer, you've got loads of graphics that you will just give to people for them for free use on social media. Maybe you've got a tutorial on how they can publish their first blog, and maybe you've showed them how to work MailChimp, how to set up your account, how to publish their first blog. Maybe you've got a little black book or a resource guide. So you've got a list of all of these amazing resources that will help create a better website, such as how to use PayPal on your website, how to create payments, how to create pop-ups, all of these things. Now, the main course is obviously going to be your bespoke website design. We're going to design you a shit hot website that's specific to you and your business. And maybe as part of that, we help them create an inspiration board. So we as website designers can drag inspiration, and our clients can drag inspiration as well. Maybe we also want to offer some branding training because we want to make sure the message is the same throughout our Facebook, throughout our website, throughout everything that we use. Maybe as part of our main course, we include some website revision. So 3 opportunities we will go over your website and make changes. And maybe we'll spell check your website as well. And maybe as the dessert, we will work with our partners and we will give them 50% off business cards and ebook opt-in designs. So 50% off the business cards that you can use at networking, and an ebook opt-in is basically when you have something that you give away for free, which we'll discuss that in the sales funnel training as well. So there's some examples just to kind of get you thinking. And I've chosen industries that I know we don't operate in because I don't want to lead you in any way. I want to say that there's so many ideas out there. They're absolutely everywhere. And it's really about you getting comfortable choosing what works best for you. And also, I've got 21 different ways here of how you can potentially deliver these products and services, or deliver these features. So maybe as part of your starter, main course, or dessert, you want to have accountability checks. So maybe you want to drop them an email. Maybe you've got set emails that you're going to send them for accountabilities. Audio recordings, that you record some podcasts, you record some audios that they can listen to. Audits. So I do a sales funnel audit where I look at people's sales funnel, but maybe you do a wardrobe audit. Maybe you do a content audit. Maybe you do a health, fitness. Maybe you do a financial audit. Maybe you do a mindset audit. What it basically means is you go through absolutely everything, see what's working, see what's not, make some suggestions. Maybe you have some checkpoint meetings. So you identify different checkpoints along the journeys and you pre-plan in meetings that you're going to see how you're getting on. Is everything okay for you? Coaching sessions. Customized cheat sheets. Personalized cheat sheets are absolutely fantastic. And again, with tools such as Canva nowadays, they can be made really, really cost effectively. Maybe we want some done for yous. So some done for you plans, some done for you strategies, some done for you reports, some done for you copy. I worked with a copywriter once and she just basically had a list of questions that when you answered them meant she could do the copy on your website. Maybe another part of your package is some email support. Maybe you offer a certain number of emergency calls. So even though you're doing a one-to-one coaching or a group coaching, maybe you say, okay, as part of your one-to-one coaching, you can have 2 emergency calls. And that basically means you can phone me and I guarantee we'll speak within X amount of time. Maybe there's a help desk, and your help desk could be a virtual help desk. It could be a Facebook question and answers. Maybe you want to have some intensives, so you want to have an intensive day, you want to have an intensive training program. Laser coaching, think driving instructors. I remember when I was learning how to drive, you could pay for your weekly 3 years. I paid for driving lessons, pay for your weekly driving lessons, or you could pay for 1 week and you would get an intensive 40-hour laser coaching there. Maybe you want to deliver a group program, 6 weeks, 6 months, 30 days. Maybe you want to have a retreat. I know, Joe, obviously with your amazing barn, retreats are a really good option, but for any of the coaches in the group, retreats are fantastic. Maybe you want to have a screencast tutorial, and that's basically what we're doing here, whereby we're recording the screen and my voice over it and we're teaching you something. Speaking gigs, maybe you want to offer to speak. So if you're providing a training, maybe you want to say, okay, and I will pop out and speak at your networking event, speak at your company, speak at wherever the case may be. Specifically focused sessions. So think your Reiki, your CV review, your launch strategy, your course creation. You will have one session where you'll look at all of those. Workshops, the benefits of group workshops is that you share all of the knowledge, so it's not just based on what you can teach your clients, and I think the group is a really good example of that because everyone's been sharing their amazing knowledge and it's been fantastic. Video updates, maybe you want to record some videos and send them out, or VIP days. So you can see there, so when we're looking, that's 21 ways whereby you can create your starter, main course and dessert. Okay? And basically what we want you to do there is just list out what you can do. Break it down and say, for my starter, which is an introduction to what I offer, I can do this. For my main course, which is the meat of my package, it's the fulfilling bit, it's the bit that tastes amazing, it's the 2 pieces of steak that my fiance is about to have for dinner. What is that? How amazing it is. And the dessert, the sweet bit at the end, the bit that tastes fantastic, is great. And you might find you want to go above and beyond and you want to provide a nightcap. That's absolutely okay too. You provide whatever it is that you want, so long as we're charging the right amount for it. And I know you, and I know you do shitloads already, and I know you work really, 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 really hard. So let's not underestimate how much work goes into what you already do. So let's say as part of your initial consultation, you do a 1-hour coaching plan. And let's say that's part of your freebies to get you in. Let's break that down so people know exactly what goes into it. It's not just a 1-hour coaching plan. It's not It's not just a 30-minute coaching session. It is the initial questionnaire that you send out in advance to determine exactly how you can help them. Most people do that via Google Forms or SurveyMonkey. It's 2 hours of your time and attention researching the needs of the client and preparing tailored recommendations. So you don't just sit there for an hour and go, oh, bingo, here are some ideas. You read through that initial questionnaire and you go through absolutely everything. It's an hour session whereby you take them through your unique approach and how you can help them and how they will walk away with pages of notes and practical recommendations. So even the 1-hour training session or the 1-hour coaching session, even that, it's not that they just sit there, they just talk. They leave brimming with ideas. They leave feeling fantastic and they leave with practical recommendations. Maybe they leave with some worksheets to complete. Maybe they leave with a 1-page personalized summary of what was covered. And maybe they leave with an email check-in 7 days later to assess the progress. So do you see there how pretty boring 1-hour coaching session can be broken down into something spectacular and can be packaged up really nicely as well? So don't underestimate what you're already doing. Don't think that you're not doing enough as it is. Chances are you're probably doing loads. We just need to spell it out to the client and hold you accountable to the highest possible standards to make sure everything happens. Our next slide is pricing, and I think, as you know, I'm a bit of a Nazi when it comes to pricing, and I'm probably just going to be a bit brutal in these next few slides. And the reason being is because the price of what you offer does not reflect your value as a human being. It doesn't reflect how good you are at what you do, and it certainly doesn't reflect how amazing you are. All it really is the confidence that you have worked hard enough in building relationships with customers so that you can charge the right amount. And I know for a fact you don't walk into Starbucks or Tesco's or Pizza Express and question the prices, But equally, if you walked into Pizza Express and you said, how much is that pizza? And they said £11, and they went, oh, okay, right, £11. The waiter wouldn't take it personally. The chef wouldn't take it personally because they're comfortable in the value of what they're charging. So don't take it personally if somebody questions your prices. All it means is that we have to convey the value a little bit more. Because you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value that you bring to the hour. So all it means is that we have to demonstrate the value that little bit more. And actually it's quite fantastic because the more questions you get at this earlier stage about the pricing, the easier that it's going to be for you to build that into your marketing at a later stage and make sure that you preempt any of those questions. So to determine your pricing, I want you to follow this step-by-step process. First of all, what's the price you are intuitively thinking of? So there's a price in your head that you want to charge for your packages. There's a price in your head that you need to earn to pay the mortgage, to pay the bills. Chances are it's too freaking low, but we'll come to that. But there's a price. And then I want you to write out the 3 most compelling benefits of working with me. So what are the 3 biggest benefits? And we've just been through this in earlier slides. What are the 3 biggest benefits or transformations that your client is going to experience by working from you? Now, I want you to calculate the financial value to your clients of these 3 benefits. So it could be the financial value of the fact that the benefit is going to be that they're going to feel amazing and have way more attention. And way more confidence. So if they feel amazing and have way more confidence and they go into work feeling that way, they could get paid more. They have better relationships. There's all these different ways. And then I want you to work out what it would cost your client over the next year if they did not use you. Now go back to your earlier slides and we'll use the health coach example. Chances are they're probably going to pay more for even just pills, even just like paracetamol, stomach pills, backache pills, like hot water bottles. They're probably going to pay a fortune for all of these things. They're going to have a stiff back, a stiff shoulder. They're going to spend a lot of money on things that they wouldn't have had to spend money on because they used you, So an example, when I worked with a health coach last year, I worked with a raw food coach, and her training for 6 weeks, I don't mind telling you, was £700. And at first I was like, for fuck's sake, it is the month before Christmas. Why on earth do I want to pay someone to train me on raw food if that's what it's going to cost? However, I will categorically guarantee you that by the time Christmas came, which was just over a month later, I had saved that money back. And the reason I'd saved that money back is because A, I was eating raw food, I was eating really healthy, I had loads of energy, I felt amazing. But B, I wasn't going to Starbucks. That lasted, didn't it? I wasn't buying any alcohol out. I wasn't wasting money on crap. And more to the point, when I went home for Christmas, and normally when I go home for Christmas, I'm up the town, I'm always buying like a nice top to make me feel better, or a pair of shoes or a bit of makeup or something. Because my head was so clear and because I felt so amazing, I did not need to buy any of those things because I just felt fantastic and I could fit into the clothes I already had. So actually, I invested £700 in the trainer, but I probably saved about £900 in 2 months because we all know that Christmas is the most expensive time of the year. So it's just to give you an example, and I want you to think about a time that you've done that. And for those of us who do Forever and sell the Clean 9, that's a really, really good one as well, or those of us who sell any weight loss plans. So look at 3 competitors, good ones, ones you think are fantastic, and what do they charge? So add up the 3 and calculate the average. Now, we're not going to base ourselves on what our competitors charge, but we do need to know what are the choices available to your clients in the market. And also, you want to consider figures that align with your brand values. So if part of what you want to do is you want to help as many people as possible, you maybe don't want to charge the maximum that you could possibly charge right now, and that's okay. But equally, if your brand values are something luxurious, something classy, something that stands for something, you certainly don't want to be the cheapest. How does it fit in with your other offers? You know, if you went into a restaurant and they had, you know, like a starter for £4 and then they had a main course for 24, the main course doesn't quite fit with the starters and vice versa. So you need to make sure that it fits in with your other pricing. I would suggest you increase your other pricing. Are there any costs of goods sold that we need to consider as well? Is there anything that we're paying out that we need to make sure we cover? Are we spending any money on marketing, or how much have we spent? Because we need to make sure that we get that money back. And how much money do you want to receive? Maybe you've got a target. Maybe you need to earn a certain amount of money by X date. And then I want you to come back when you've made a list of all of that and think, the price I am now thinking of is, and so help me God, that price better have gone up from when the price you're intuitively thinking of at the beginning is. Because you're saving them money, you're helping them earn more, you're helping them feel amazing, and you know what your competitors are charging. So let's make sure you're charging the right amount. And again, going back to what I said at the beginning of this training, your default response when someone questions what you charge cannot ever, 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 ever be to reduce your prices. It's not happening. Have a bank of things you can add in. Go back into the 21 features there and think, what things can I have in my toolbox? So if someone questions my prices, instead of saying I'll reduce it, you can say, well, actually, I've thought about it. I think we're a really good fit together. Rather than reduce my prices, because I feel that would jeopardize the service I'd be able to offer you, what I would prefer to do would be to add in accountability checks. And what I could do is we could also add in 2 coaching sessions when you reach certain milestones. You know, so add something in and never, never, never reduce your price. So there's certain price brackets that you'll probably start to notice in the shops when you're out and about. 47, 97, 149, 199, 249, 299 or 297, for example. Lots of times there's £50 jumps in what they offer. And I would recommend, if you're at a stage now where you're a bit nervous about what you're charging, and that's okay, we're all learning, we're all growing, maybe 149 would be your dream price, but you'd feel more comfortable charging 97. Well, maybe you're going to charge 97 and that's okay for the next 2 clients. But maybe as you get more confident, you're going to say, well, then I'm increasing it to 149 for all new clients coming on, and then 199, and then 249. So you can gradually increase your pricing in line with how confident you feel and how comfortable you feel. And then as you start to do more comprehensive packages, more of your group coaching programs, etc., 1997, 2497, they tend to go up in £500 jumps as well. Now, nobody starts at exactly the highest because we want you to feel really, really passionate. We don't want you to have imposter syndrome. But what we do want you to have is that confidence that you can increase your prices as well. And for new customers, you can always go up. But I would always recommend that you consider how you're going to reward the loyalty of your existing clients as well. Now, if you're offering a payment plan for your packages, I want you to consider that if you do, you really need to add 15 to 20% onto the total cost. So if your cost is £1,000 for your yoga package, or it's £1,000 for your massage package or your decluttering package. Now, they're really bad names. I know you're going to choose amazing names. Maybe it's £1,000 if paid in full, or 997, 999 if paid in full, but you're going to go up to 1197 if paid in installments. And you want to make sure you get about 50% up front, and that the full payment is received before the package is complete, because basically there's more risk to you there. So maybe you say, okay, X amount is due on this date and 3 weeks later more is due. Yeah, try and tie it in. You can always tie in your timings with when you think people are going to get paid as well. Now, we want to minimize the perceived risk for the consumer of all of these packages as well. So we'll come in on our next training about how we're going to promote something, but I want you to write it out. I want you to start getting this evidence together, get it into your folder, get it into your amazing Success in 6 like resource plan. But the first thing is that your customer is buying based on a promise. So you need to display that the results will happen, and there's various ways that you can do this. Now, you don't have to do all of these things. I would recommend about 2 or 3. So maybe you've got some case studies. Maybe you've got really, really detailed case studies that someone has agreed to do from start to finish, and they're absolutely fantastic for anything with the transformation. So a yoga case study, Beata, I would definitely be doing a case study based on how you help everyone to declutter. For anyone in network marketing, Ash, for your network marketing, you could do a case study for how you took someone who wasn't earning and helped them earn quite a lot as well. You could do discovery calls or strategy sessions, so you could chat to people in advance. Maybe you want to have some training, so pre-course training that you want to have, like I did for this, so that people get to know, like, and trust you. Maybe you want to have frequently asked questions. So in your frequently asked questions, you want to answer all of the questions that you know is cropping into their mind. But maybe there's questions that you want to answer that they might get asked by someone else. So maybe their husband might say, well, actually, what's this 997 covering? And why, as a joint entity or as a family, are we paying out our family money for this, when you've not earned that money back, or, to help you get going. So we want to answer all those questions. Guarantees. Now, solopreneurs always seem to shy away from guarantees. I can understand the difference because obviously most people are protected under law. But when it comes to a guarantee, what I see a lot in the industry is course completed guarantees. So you will return X percentage of the investment if after 3 weeks they're not happy, but they sell you in all of their completed workbooks and a copy of what they've done so far. So basically you're saying there's a guarantee, but you're not telling them that they can just change their mind and get buyer's remorse and not do anything. They need to complete all of the worksheets, and they need to demonstrate that they've done the course and that they're still not happy. And obviously you're fantastic, so that won't happen. And maybe you'll get some personal recommendations in there. Maybe you've got some portfolios with before and after photos that you can send them. Are you a member of any memberships? Your qualifications, your credentials, they're a great way of minimizing perceived risk. Clearly display your refund policy or let them know. Maybe you've got some samples in advance. I know Gemma came to our event recently and she did some massage, and when she goes out, she provides a day session of massage, which works really well. And then your success stories as well. So you want to share your success stories. They're slightly different to your case studies in that they're not in as much detail, but they certainly demonstrate your successes. We're coming on to number 6. I did tell you that this training was a big one. I feel I've warned you, but you can feel my pain when I'm uploading this onto YouTube. We want to look at naming what you offer. And when it comes to naming what you offer, it's very much about making it relevant, specific, and fun. So think about what's the main result of what you offer. What kind of energy do you want to convey in your offer, and how long will it take them to achieve it? And I've just picked out some examples here, and I would probably recommend, again, you become a detective in this. You channel your inner Jessica Fletcher. You're going to become the expert. You're going to become the expert both in your business and running your business. So in order to do that, you need to be aware of what packages are out there right now. So I did some research, and there was Joe Wicks, Lean in 15. You know I love him, but basically lean meals in 15 minutes or 15 seconds. He posts the video online, and then it takes like 15 minutes to cook them. So you can't say much better than that. 6 weeks to sexy is one I found online, or 6 weeks to shredded. They were online personal training programs that I found. Maybe there's a 12-week body, business, home, health, finance transformation package that you're going to run. Big Girls Knickers Bootcamp by Claire Mitchell. I did that and it was really good, but it's basically about going from acting like a girl to acting like a woman and putting your big girls knickers on. Lose your muffin top in 6 weeks, be very specific, success in 6. And there's some other training that I've seen, Copy Cure or Copy Cash Machine, and they're very much around what you can do with writing your copy for your website, etc., and how you can do that. So just make sure that you name your package really, really specific. It's about the results that you generate. So if you help them drop a dress size, I would be dress size down in 10. Whatever the case may be, the clean 9, clean eating in 9 days, absolutely fantastic way of promoting it. Number 7, and our final step in creating your packages, and I want you to write all of this out, is to manage your objections. So why would you wait until sales conversation before you cover all objections? It doesn't make any sense. If you wanted to convince your partner to do something, you wouldn't let the objection come up at the end. You would turn around and say, okay, I know you're going to be pissed off because of this, but let's just do it anyway. You'll cover the objections as early as you possibly can, and you want to cover them in the promotion of what you offer. And the way that you can do that is you can record a Facebook Live video, you can send it out in an email, you can cover it in a frequently asked questions sheet that you send out. Whatever the case may be, you can manage these objections. But in order to do that, you want to list out all of the concerns that they are likely to have and how can you respond to these in an understanding way. Don't get your back up if someone comes to you with an objection. It's rude. You know, you want to be excited and you want to help these people as much as you can, and also you want to understand them as much as you possibly can. So I know you would never get that way, but sometimes it's hard when you're putting all this work in and someone has an objection and you're like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. That's absolutely okay. Now we know. Get it added in there to our promotion and let's manage those objections. I'm getting excited now because I'm getting all Christmassy because we're moving on to how to package products. I told you this was a big training, and packaging products is equally as simple as our starter, main course and dessert as it is for packaging our expertise. Yes, there is work involved and there's trial and error, but there's so much inspiration out there. There's so many places that we can learn from. We are not reinventing the wheel in any way, shape or form. And I want to tell you about the 3 for 2. So years ago, like when I first moved to Edinburgh, and I remember my first Christmas going into Boots and it was 3 for 2 everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, I really want this. I wanted this number 7 makeup set, and I was like, I really want it. I think it was like 70 quid or something. I was like, that's really expensive. I worked in a sandwich shop at the time and I was like, I want to buy it, I want to buy it. And then I realized, who are the most expensive people that I need to buy presents for? So if I get them a really expensive present, because I know that I'm going to get one back, because that's how presents worked in your early 20s, I can buy this and I can get this number 7 makeup set for myself. So that's pretty much what I did. So it was actually my 2 best friends. So I remember buying Tracy like a makeup set, and then getting this and thinking it was the most fantastic thing in the world, because what Boots had basically done is buying one thing in their 3 for 2 mix and match seems counterproductive, doesn't it? You go in and you buy one and you go, oh shit, but for an extra tenner I could get the lip gloss, I get a free one. So now everyone does a 3 for 2. Absolutely everyone. We don't want to do the same as everyone else, but equally, if it works and if it works really well, let's just try it in the first instance while we are perfecting our packages, while we're getting to learn our customers more. So maybe what we want to do is combine a mixture of products that suit a certain situation. So dinner, I talk about like our lovely meal deal that we're going to have tonight. Maybe it's losing weight. So maybe you've got a weight loss package. The Clean 9 is a really good example, but maybe you've got different products that would complement people after they've lost weight. Maybe you've got some oils, maybe you've got a massage, maybe you've got a book, maybe you've got loads of things that you could package together to help someone who's losing weight. Someone who wants to take care of themselves more, someone who wants to spoil themselves, and then Christmas and birthdays, etc. as well. So think of all of the different situations that people experience, how you can package what you offer to make it appealing to them. And you want to make it really easy for them to buy. So notice how Boots don't say that you're getting any money off. What they really drill home the added value. They really drill home the 3 for 2. They really drill home the fact that you are getting extra, and that's what you want to do as well. You want to drill home the fact that people are going to get extra, and you want to make it easy for people to buy them. So none of this shit of follow this elaborate process to pay. No, you have to be able to accept PayPal. You have to be able to accept cards. Again, we'll touch on this next week, but explore the different options. Edinburgh and Lothian buses are soon going to accept fast pay. So they're going to accept contactless. So we're talking about a company that accepts cash, that has an app where you can pay for your bus in advance. And now they're going to accept contactless as well, because they realise we cannot create barriers for people paying. So everything you do, I want you to make it really easy for people to pay. And you want to make it feel like they have to have them through perceived value, so the added extra. And here are some examples. Now, I told you that I take photos of absolutely everything. I do. However, the storage is going on my iPhone. So all of the emails I wanted to send myself wouldn't send because I've got too much storage. It's a bit of a joke. So I just Googled these things. So I Googled bridal package. I Googled wedding package. I Googled cake package, and I clicked on images. That's all I did. And I got loads of examples. The meal deal from Tesco's. You can see there the middle top row. It's actually a sleep package for new mums. Hint, hint to anyone that loves me. But basically it's about babies being a sleep thief. So you get your little eye mask, which I think is beautiful because chances are you're going to have to be asleep during the day. You get little drops of essential oils, and obviously you get a little baby grow as well, which is absolutely fantastically cute. But if you're looking to buy a present for a new mum and you want to buy something different, that stands out. And then I googled bridal packages and there was a tying the knot spa package, because who doesn't want to take care of themselves more than a woman getting married? So this tying the knot package, what we've got there is the creams, the potions, the lips, everything to exfoliate, everything to feel absolutely fantastic. So how nice would that be if you're going on a hen do, or if you need to get something for a bride as well? I wanted to look at more kind of packages for people who sell like massage, etc., because that's kind of a cross between services and products, because it's a tough one. But what I liked about this was they listed the hour to a certain extent, but they gave you the value. So they told you that the value of this package was $510, but you could get it for only $335. Although I'm not a fan of reducing prices, I liked the way that was presented, and it was obviously a diamond package and it's date special, so it's not going to be there for too long. So maybe you also want to have a platinum package, maybe you want to have a gold package. You know, we can think of better names, we've been through that process, but there's examples there. You can see there, middle bottom row, there are wedding packages, so for our florists or for jewelers. So obviously I know we design wedding jewellery as well, so maybe there's a different type of one. So you can see that we've got this simplicity package for the bride who wants something a wee bit more simple. But actually simple nowadays is actually really, really popular, and it's really quaint. And the elegance package and the opulence, and I thought they were really quite fantastic because they work both for wedding packages, they'd work really well for flowers, they'd work really well for our cakes, and they'd work really well for our jewellery. So there's quite good examples there. So just start googling. Become a detective, swipe loads of ideas and choose the ones that work best. If you're becoming overwhelmed or you've got any questions, just pop them in the group. And my personal favourite, and I love this, and this actually I saw in Asda and it showed up in an Asda advert on my Facebook page, and that's why I took a screenshot and then googled it, and was an afternoon tea selection. So this is £3, and basically what it means is it has a shit hot box which is really cute, and you go in and you take Asda's cakes and you fill in how many, I think there's 6 there, 12, and you take it off with you. How nice is that if you're going to meet friends, if you're going to the park, if you're going to visit someone's house? It doesn't cost a fortune, but you're taking afternoon tea with you. And afternoon tea, has got a reputation for being really, really luxurious. It's really, really amazing pamper time, but sometimes can be quite expensive. But here you are recreating that for £3. Love it, amazing. So when you're looking at packages, just go online, just become a detective. Google bridal packages, cake packages, jewellery packages. Google what's happening in your industry, Google what's happening in similar industries, and Google what's happening in completely different industries. Because if you're only doing what's happening in your industry, and we'll go through this so often, your ideas become stale. And you become a wee bit like everyone else, and you're not like everyone else, you're completely different. So what I would recommend is that you just pick a random industry, or ask your partner to give you a random industry, ask your best friend to give you a random industry, ask them what their favourite pastime is, and Google the packages that are being sold in those industries. Or maybe what you want to do is, when you're going shopping, is maybe every week for the next 6 weeks, so success in 6, so you can commit to another 6, is that you're going to buy 2 magazines that you would have never have read before. So for me, I like business magazines, health magazines, well-being magazines. So maybe I'm going to buy a boxing magazine, because I tend to pinch my fiance's boxing magazine to get ideas, or a car magazine, or a horse magazine, or a computer magazine, and actually open up and see what the packages are like in there. See what people are selling in there, because I can categorically guarantee you we do this in our workshops, and it's the most fun people have. I ask everyone to bring 3 magazines that they would never normally read, and 3 magazines from completely different industries, and we go through them. We spend about an hour going through them, ripping out ideas, writing them down, taking photos, taking screenshots, and everyone leaves with loads of ideas that no one else in their industry is doing. So it works really, 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 really well. So just more examples on packages that are out there just now. 3 for 2 mix and match meal deals as well is another one. If you go to the Co-op, they get all of this for £3.50. And again, I went in with my sister yesterday. She was getting like a sandwich, a drink, and there was a gluten-free cake. And the gluten-free cake normally costs like £1.50, but she was getting it as part of a meal deal, so she gave it to me so I could give it to my brother-in-law. Spend X amount and get a gift to the value of X amount. You see that in Boots, you see that in Superdrug. They say spend makeup and you get like a lovely little box, like with a bow on top, with loads of different miniature sizes in there. Why can't you do the same? Why can't you do the same with your samples? Appeal to an occasion. Is there a holiday package, a weight loss package, a night out package, a new mum package? All of the ideas we've given. Maybe you want to do a subscription package. We've not gone into too much detail. There's loads of subscription companies out there, and subscription companies right now are very, very niche. That's what rewards it for them, is about drilling right down into certain areas. So you see a lot of vegan subscription packages. You see a lot of gluten-free subscription packages. People appealing to a niche market, and what they basically do is they open your eyes to products that you wouldn't normally think of. Maybe you want to include a coupon for future purchases from you. I don't know if you've bought a book from Amazon, but a lot of times for ages they had coupons in there, and they had coupons for some wine books that they were doing. Maybe you want to have an auto subscription for refills. So you click here to auto subscribe for refills. So if you're doing massage oil, if you're selling aloe vera, if you're selling certain products, and you want to make it convenient for them to take home. So you want to make it really, really easy for them. So if you're selling a bigger product, so maybe if you're selling our jewellery items, maybe you want to say you offer a postal service whereby they can trial it for a week, and then if not happy, you can have a stamped address envelope and they can return it. Obviously insurance and high ticket options apply, but there's various different examples that we can do to step outside the box. But again, I want you to start looking at what other people are doing in the same industry, in similar industries and completely different industries, and jot down your ideas and jot down what you think works really, really well, both for you, your brand values, and obviously what works really, really well and for other people in the industry, i.e. your customers, because we want to make sure they're really, really happy with these packages as well. So when it comes to creating your packaging, for those of you who package a service, develop your signature package. What is your starter, main course, and dessert? For those of you selling products, just tap into my enthusiasm, because I absolutely love creating packages, and just kind of see what products can you bundle together to create a package, and how can you appeal to a situation in someone's life. So the wedding season's on right now. If I'm selling jewellery, or if I'm selling cakes, or if I'm selling flowers, maybe there is a wedding package whereby we can have jewellery for the Hindu, jewellery for the bridesmaids that's matching, and jewellery for the brides, and you create an entire package in that style. And how much more would that stand out from just maybe a bride's item of jewellery? So there's loads of different options that you can do. And then our useful tips. So we want you to plan 3 months in advance. I think I've made that obvious before, always planning ahead, but let's look at what's happening in the next 3 months. So kids are going to go back to school soon, which probably means parents will A, be going back into full-time work, or B, will have a wee bit more time on their hands. So maybe they want to start a new exercise class. Maybe they want to get that Reiki and reflexology. Maybe they want to have that massage. Maybe they want to start that new business so that they never have to go back to work again, because they hate leaving their kids and this is the last year they're ever going to do that. Maybe it's the time for them to work with a coach because their head has been fried. Maybe it's the perfect time for them to start their own business. Plan the next 3 months and see what's going to happen. Again, we'll do that in our last week. We'll do that in great detail. But what I want you to do is always start thinking ahead, so that if you're creating packages now, they're going to be relevant. And always know what's going on in your client's life. So an example I'd use, I was at home for Christmas, and before I went home for Christmas, everything was about overindulging. And I came back to Edinburgh on the 27th, 28th, and I went to Asda to do the shopping. And it was buy this Prosecco, buy this cake, buy these creams. Like, it was just food, excess. And that's what happens at Christmas. People promote excess because people buy excess. So you need to make sure you're doing the same. But then I went into the same Asda. It was the Asda in the Fort in January. And I swear to God, whereas before I'd been greeted by bottles of Prosecco and this finest food, I was greeted by a massive tower of Heinz soup. Like, it was huge, and it was 2 tins for £1. So it was as if overnight people have gone from excess to cutting back, like literally overnight. But what they also do in January is they go for the new them. So they're buying more classes, they're more likely to try that new job, they're more likely to try and change their lives, they're more likely to go with that coach. Summer, long nights, holidays, weddings, hen do's, barbecues, kids off school, festivals, bare legs, and obviously not to forget our month end promotions that we're going to do. So absolutely loads of useful tips there for you as well. So what do you need to do now? Sorry, this training I know has been over an hour long, but it's just so important, and I just think packaging what you do is so essential. So any questions, please post in the group. But you've seen this to do before. I want you to become a marketing detective. Channel your JB Fletcher. Take screenshots, take photos, buy magazines, take that inspiration, know what you like, know what you don't like, know what's working. I'm such a nosy Parker. I see what's in other people's trolleys. Like when we were buying that meal deal today, I was looking at the guy beside me to see what he was buying. Boring. But again, I wanted to see what was attracting him. Create your own signature package or packages. And for product-based businesses, think about what you'll sell in the next 3 months, because that's probably going to be the easiest, and attach it back to a certain occasion. Okay, that is me. We're going to move on to video 2 shortly, and I'm really excited to see how we are going to market these amazing packages so that we can earn you some money. See you soon. Bye.